Am I seriously doing another random vlog already? When it's been less than a month since the last one? Very much less than a month, in fact. Yes, I am. So, I've been watching through some of my old random vlogs over the past week or so. Just watched one from back in 2019 where I showed my game collection in its state at the time. And watching that inspired me to film this random vlog today to do an update of sorts on the state of the game collection. In particular, also with the visit to another town last weekend, where I dropped by a game store, picked up a few second-hand games. So yeah, good excuses all around to do an updated game collection tour random vlog. So without further ado, let's go. Also, I reorganized my shelves this morning, mostly because I had to fit the new games in there somehow. And let me tell you this feels a lot more systematic and accessible than the previous arrangement. So anyway, let's begin on the top shelf here. So we have the Ultimate Doom and Doom 2 big boxes that I've had for a couple of eternities at this point. But the final Doom big box, that's a relatively new addition. Actually hasn't been that long since I got that. Like, just over a year, I think? Or almost a year and a half, anyway. So those of you who have seen basically any of my Doom collection tour videos, you'll know what's in those big boxes. But in case you haven't, the standard included games themselves aren't the only ones in those big boxes. By which I mean that essentially there are some additional loose games in, well, 2 out of the 3 big boxes. The Ultimate Doom one, in addition to the Ultimate Doom, has a cd-rom of the shareware episode of the original Doom. The Doom 2 one, I believe, has... well, it's either the Doom 2 or the final Doom big box that has the master levels for Doom 2 additionally. And obviously, Doom 2 and Final Doom themselves in their respective boxes. Back there are my GameCube games. Those haven't seen much of an expansion since the last tour. But I'm gonna have to move these out of the way. Well, might as well look at the DS games first. And the GBA ones. So in the DS game department, we have Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, Metroid Prime Hunters, Thundercats, and Ultimate Spider-Man, which is one of the games that I picked up from the store last weekend. GBA games, we have Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, GBA Doom, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Zero Mission. And here is the SNES Doom. Fucking badass red cartridge. Now we get to moving these out of the way. Off the GameCube games. And here's the case for 2 of my loose Nintendo DS cards. Chrono Trigger and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. There we go. So, also got Doom 64 back there. So anyway, the GameCube games. We have Darkened Sky, Mario Kart Double Dash, Metroid Prime, Need for Speed Carbon, which is a new game that I've gotten since the last game collection tour, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Turok Evolution. So, that's that. Now, the PC game section has seen the biggest sort of expansion since the last collection tour, I believe. But we're not gonna go through those just yet. I'm gonna begin with the PlayStation games. So we have Chase the Express, Crash Bandicoot, NTSC version. I still really want to get a PAL version of that game, so that I could play it on the real hardware. But then again, if I'm gonna go like full emulation at some point, that's pretty much just gonna be a waste of money, maybe. Oh yeah, and speaking of emulation, obviously I'm gonna want to rip these actual games at some point. It saves me from having to download any ROMs that way. And put myself into legal trouble anyway. We have Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, and Crash Team Racing. We have Doom on the PlayStation, the PAL version, and the NTSC version back there, acting as a bookend of sorts. We have Ninja Shadow of Darkness, Oddworld Apes Odyssey, ODT, Spider-Man on the PlayStation, Pandemonium, Rayman, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. We have Skull Monkeys, Tekken 2, 1, 2, and 3, I mean. And the Tekken 3 demo disc. That says Collector's Edition on it for some reason, no idea why. We have Twisted Metal, Xenogears, Japanese version of that. Would like to get the PAL version, if I can find it for a reasonable price. Did want the PAL version back when I got this version, but the Japanese version was the cheapest one I could find, so just went with that. Then we have some loose PC CD-ROMs. We have Deus Ex, Quake, Quake 2, Quake 3. We have a thin unlabeled one with Sacred Plus in it. We have StarCraft, StarCraft Brood War, and Unreal. And then we have the PC games back there. Most of them complete in box. I think there's a couple that are like missing manuals and whatnot. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering, either way. Can't be fucked to move the PS1 games out of the way, so you're just gonna have to put up with me lifting some of this up. So that one is Adventure Pinball, Forgotten Island. You're also gonna have to put up with some darkness, because this is about the best light that I can get in here. This one is, yeah, American McGee's Alice. We have Breed, which is a game that I picked up from the store last weekend. Looked interesting, so, you know. Oops. We have Clive Barker's Undying, Dead Space 3, Doom Collector's Edition, Doom 3, Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, Doom 3 BFG Edition, Doom 2016, Duke Nukem Forever, FPS Creator, Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, Homefront, which was a Christmas gift from a friend one year. Haven't talked to him since. I'm just kidding. Hopmon. Well, I haven't talked to him in years, but it wasn't over the game. We just kind of fell out of contact. We have what's supposed to be a pack of 3 Lego games: Drome Racers, Bionicle, and Football Mania. But Football Mania was actually the only one that was included in that. Guess that shouldn't have been surprising, being a thrift store find. We have Lilo and Stitch, Trouble in Paradise, Monochroma. I believe that was even a collector's edition of some sort. We have Pariah, another game that I picked up from the store last weekend. We have Prey 2006, Rage Anarchy Edition. We have Sin and Sin Episodes Emergence, included in one neat package, alongside each other. StarCraft plus Brood War, Bestseller Edition. Stolen, the last game that I bought from the store last weekend. Super Meat Boy Ultra Edition, and finally, Unreal 2 The Awakening. Shitty game, not really sure why I bought that disc. But anyway. Was there... Nah, no games on that shelf. So yeah, there you go. A little update to my game collection in random vlog form. as is more or less standard for me at this point, whenever the mood strikes for whatever it happens to be that inspires me to do one of these. And this time around it happened to be the game pickups, the trip last weekend, and the nostalgia trip, with me going through my past random vlogs lately. I believe this is even... Wow, yeah, 16 minutes almost. Very much the longest random vlog I've done to date. But you know, for video games, it's fucking worth it. Anyway, on that note, see you later.